Hey guys, it's Ashley with Best Reads by Ashley. Stay tuned because we're going to talk about a few of my favorite adoption memoirs and books coming up. Hey guys, so today, as I mentioned, we're going to be discussing some of my favorite adoption memoirs. If you've watched any of my past videos, which I'm sure some of you have, but some of you have not, you know that my daughter, or my husband and my daughter, is adopted from Japan. And so adoption is something that's always been on my heart and is, something that I enjoy reading about. So my shameless plug for the day, if we're talking about adoption memoirs and novels, this one is mine. Yes, I have wanted to be an author since maybe third, fourth grade. And this year I took the leap. Well, I guess it was 2020. I took the leap and wrote my memoir about our adoption journey. It's the year or more that took us to bring home our daughter. It's about love, loss, the journey that we had, what it was like for us. We had a lot of personal stuff going on at the same time. It is our story of us getting together. My husband and I, we are high school sweethearts. So it is all of that put together. And it is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and so forth. But anyway, there's my plug. Since I'm talking about adoption novels, I had to mention mine. So there's that. A couple others of mine that I love. Two of which I read this past maybe 7 months. One of them is called Sewing in Tears, and it is by an indie author. Her name is Leanne Hale, and this book takes you through her journey of infertility. So for my husband and I, our journey did not start from infertility. I mean, as far as we know, we have no issues, but it was just something that I had always wanted to do, and that's how I dreamed of growing my family. And lucky for me, my husband was right on board. So that was the journey and what our steps look like. For Leanne, her and her husband struggled with infertility for quite a while. She does talk about that. She is very open about her struggles and what it felt like. And it's a very honest memoir about that. It's very emotional. It's raw. It's a good read. But if you are someone that's dealing with infertility, it is very informative, but also be warned that it is emotional. It's a roller coaster ride, as most adoption memoirs are. This particular book, Sewing in Tears, is domestic adoption. She mentions foster care. She mentions domestic open adoption and so forth, and how her journey looked. Obviously, my memoir is about our journey, which was international adoption through Japan, which is a very small program that actually is not even in play right now. It's not open, but and what that looked like. So my book, very different from her book, two different reads, both of which I think are valuable depending on if you are just starting the idea of researching adoption, or if you are someone who has been thinking about it for a long time, or if you have adopted, or a family member that's adopted, or even if you just like to read memoirs, both of which, hers and mine, are very much love stories as well. They both talk about anxiety. They both talk about grief. Moving on, getting through, starting a family. There's a lot to it that I think most of people can relate to. The other one that I read right after I read Sewing in Tears is another one that I've heard a lot of good things about, and I had gotten a lot of recommendations for it. And it is called Lucky x2. It has two fish on the cover, and it's a kind of a cool book. It stands out. The cover definitely stands out. This one is by Sandra Wilson, and it's gotten great reviews. I personally really, really enjoyed it. Now, this one is also slightly different than my book and Leanne's book, because this one is about international adoption. So I guess more towards mine that way. It is from China, an adoption through China. And the difference, though, is that this one is an older child adoption. And what I love most, I think, about this book was it actually, because this child was older and then she was adopted, some of the book is kind of from her point of view and what she was dealing with and living with, and what it was like in the orphanage before she was adopted, and that she wanted to be adopted and that she wanted a family. And that really, really got to me. I loved getting that take from someone who lived through what she lived through. And I think that that's a very important part of that book. So my reviews for both of these, I think they're both phenomenal. I loved reading both of them. I guess Sowing in Tears, I think I would give 4 stars, only because there were a few parts in it that I kind of wanted to kind of keep going through. But I think you're going to have that in most adoption memoirs, because there's a lot of, paperwork. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes into adoption. And so most memoirs, mine included, are going to give you that part. And it's not always the most thrilling part, so I totally get that. But I would give it a solid 4 stars, maybe even a little over 4 stars, because it was really good. And remember, that one's foster care, infertility, and open domestic adoption here in America. Lucky times 2, international adoption, older child adoption. You get the child's point of view a little bit as well. Loved it. I would give it probably 4.5 stars. I guess to give it a 5-star review, I could probably give it a 5-star review. There were just the little parts that were a little slow for me. And I guess I don't want to be too over excited about all these books, because then no one's going to trust my reviews. So 4.5 stars for both of these books. Really, really good. Okay, so I have 3 others on my list that I have not had the chance to read yet. Yes, I'm a yes, I'm a teacher on summer break, but I still am doing some writing on the side. I'm doing these book reviews. I'm trying to build my social media. I'm working on stuff for next year, and I am a mom. So I haven't had time to read them yet. But 3 that are on my list. One is called Chasing Kites. I haven't heard as many things about that, but it's got some good reviews. This one is by Rachel McCracken, and it is also about infertility, foster care, and adoption here in domestic adoption in America. So I want to read that one as well at some point. It has a beautiful cover, and definitely high on my TBR list. The other one I want to read is called Through Adopted Eyes by Elena, I'm not sure, S. Hall. This one I think appeals to me because it's several small memoirs and stories from different people that are put together in one collection. And for those of us that don't have time to sit down and just read a book, you can read one quick story and then read another one, 2 weeks later if you want, or whatever. But this one has all different takes from all kinds of adoption and different stories. Some are from, I believe, adoptees, along with adoptive parents, birth mothers, or first moms, as I call our daughter's mom. But all of those things wrapped up into one book, and I think that that's really appealing to me. So that one might be at the top of my list as well. And then the one that I've probably heard the most about, and everywhere I look, people tell me I need to read this book, and I just haven't had a chance yet. I'm hoping to before school starts, but it's called All You Can Ever Know. And this one is written by a Korean adoptee. And from what I've heard, it's supposed to be a beautifully written book about her thoughts, her feelings on being adopted, and not knowing where she came from, or not having a lot of information, and her just everything that she went through and what she still thinks and feels today, which I feel as an adoptive mom is extremely important to know and to understand, and to be able to help me as my daughter grows and how we want to talk with her and so forth. So all 3 of these are at the top of my list. I'm not sure which one I'll get to first, but All You Can Ever Know, Through Adopted Eyes, and Chasing Kites. All good reviews. I've heard good things. There's some others out there that I want to read as well, but these are the 3 that are the top of my TBR list. Okay, so that's my review on 2 of the adoption memoirs I've read recently, 3 that I want to read, and of course throwing in mine as well. So if you have read any or have any other suggestions, I would love for you to comment below and let me know what else I should read or add to my list that is forever growing longer and longer. So let me know. If you liked this video and have not subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel. I am also on TikTok. I'm experimenting with that. Not so good at it yet, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get better. But like, subscribe, and check out more of my videos if you have not yet. So, all right, until next time, guys. Bye.